Hi guys, am I audible? Just put in the chat if you cannot hear me or if you can hear me. Can someone confirm in the chat if you're able to hear me or not? Yes, okay,
Yes,
cool.
able to hear you.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, let's quickly rebalance. Um, Let me share my screen. The meeting is recording, so nothing will be missed. Just do a quick rebalance and then get back to work. I actually just forgot the position. Um, Let's see how it's doing. I think it was losing money in the morning. We had accumulated like quite a few deltas. Okay. All right. Here's algo test. Let's share this screen. Okay, dokie. Are you guys also part of the WhatsApp community? Because that's the only place in WhatsApp where I'm sharing the uh, updates. It's just a general community, man. It's like a one-to-many kind of a thing. I'll share the link with you guys. Um, but just one sec. But only a subset of the people in the WhatsApp community are part of this the Discord thing, right? So I'm only doing this with you guys. You guys can see my screen, right? Strategy builder. Man, like what a shitty time to be in the market, huh? Bloody every day the market tanks. यही थी ना अपनी. Hey, yeah. ये कैसे हो गया? Okay, so we have deltas. We're at break even. It's kind of crazy, right? Like this, the risk premium is like gravity, man. It just and one thing is we actually, I think when we put this, the second trade on, we were losing money, right? So let's see the replay. I actually just forgot. अरे यार ये zoom का साला सामने आता रहता है. Okay. When we rebalanced the first time around, we were losing money and see the position before. So this is the position we were losing money. We had um, and I actually just added to the position. I was like, यार VIX बढ़ा हुआ है. So that was actually a good decision, huh? Market has gone down significantly since then, and so we were losing around 4,000 rupees. We had a delta of 30. Our loss was coming from the goddamn delta because the market had just straight up tanked down since we put our position on the first time around, and then volatility also rose, right? So delta gamma PNL was negative, and this damn um, yeah, so delta gamma PNL was negative and the Vega PNL was also negative because VIX had gone up considerably. So what we had done last time was we had just added to the position saying, yeah, VIX is up. Uh, if there was volatility is up, if there's VRP before, when we put this trade on, then there's certainly VRP now, and that turned out to be correct. So good job. So यहाँ पे we haven't really lost much, right? So we've actually gained some of this back, even though the market has gone down another 400 points. So another 500 points, the market is tanked, and we are actually recovered from where we were last time. So I think what we'll do now is let's somebody is putting thing in the chat. Well, I mean, yes, you've been accumulating theta, but that's because you haven't given up too much in gamma, right? That's where you can say it's actually Vega that you've accumulated. Volatility has also decreased, right? So you certainly have some money that's coming from uh, just the implied volatility is decreasing. And then this is the bloody major source of most of my deltas actually just coming from here, right? So let's just let's close this position out. This has clearly been a loser. It's like 700 points away. So let's buy this out. So that gets us flat delta. and let's get some margin back because what will happen is, so let's click here. Yeah, let's get some margin back because um, in case vol spikes up another couple of points again, we want to have some bullets in our arsenal to reload, right? So क्या करते हैं, बहुत दूर है ये तो यार, इसको करके इसके दो ले लेते हैं तो मेरा मार्जिन, so I get some margin back and um, I'm somewhat flat delta, um, still have a sort of positive lean here, um, which is not ideal because the market keeps tanking. But let's go with this for now. Okay, I've like flattened my delta, uh, and yeah, let's go by this. If the market keeps tanking, we'll have to rebalance a little bit more aggressively again. This and what we'll do is I'll probably like shift this to the next month because we're getting closer to expiry. Um, so let's put this on, log in to the broker. Questions. I've kept a short one today, guys. I just have like a bunch of other things to do as well. So let's place all the orders here. If you have questions, just put it on the chat or just unmute yourselves and ask. Um, so Monte Carlo order window 655. So I'll sell this out. Any questions, guys? This is just, I'm just selling out this one last uh, option, which pretty much useless anyway. Questions, questions, questions. Ask away. So yeah, like I hope you understand, Akshansh, when you said ki, Akshansh ka question tha, can we say we have been accumulating from theta since we have been holding since long? Yes, we've been accumulating theta, but the reason we've been able to accumulate theta is because we haven't given up much in gamma, right? And that is essentially the difference between your gamma and your theta PNL, as we said earlier, is your Vega PNL precisely. Yeah, so mostly this money has come from Vega. Uh, give me, I'm fighting for 5 paisa here, right? I'm like, orders का है मेरे. Damn it. I'm in the best ask. Oh yeah, trade. ये लो. So I just saved 5 paisa into 75. Any other questions, guys? This is what the position looks like now. Um, so for a couple of calm sessions after this, um, but hey, we're not doing so bad, right? Like if 90% retail traders are in loss, I mean, we actually technically we're in loss, because charges are sort of eating up on our M2M. But chalo, could be a lot worse. The market is selling off like it has never sold off in such a long time. Shouldn't say never, but it hasn't sold off like this in such a long time. Um, there is obviously like some kind of global rebalance that's happening. Um, Let me stop sharing. Okay, yeah. So there's obviously like this global rebalance happening. US markets also tanked because the numbers there, the economic numbers there weren't very good. Whatever the Trump honeymoon rally period was, that's gone away. So yeah, let's see. We still so we've closed out one position out of two. We've got some margin back. We made some recovery from the initial losses that we took. I think at its peak we were like down 9,000 rupees or something like that, and we've like I haven't traded much, right, guys? So I'm not like in the screen. And in fact, thanks for reminding me to do this rebalance. I would have been very irritated if the market opened down another 0.5% or something tomorrow. Um, questions, questions, questions. No questions, then next couple of minutes I'll close this. Yeah, Ashish, you can also watch the videos. So let me just thanks again for a reminder. I'm just going to talk to somebody in the team. They'll organize the Discord a bit better so that it's easier to find the historical videos. I think this is the third or fourth live session that I've done. We're just following this one trade that I've taken. My entire thought process from like beginning to put this trade on all the way to the rebalance right now. And it's good because it's good material because um, the market has been quite volatile since I put this trade on. So um, it's good learning for all of you guys. Okay, this is like the first trade itself is sort of a punch in the face. So um, good learning. Expect to be punched in the face as a retail trader. Um, ठीक है चलो guys, I'm gonna end this. ठीक है, till when will we be holding, Akshan? So what I'm thinking is I'll just close this at the end of the month, and that's what I'm thinking right now. I'll close it until the end of the month, and we'll create a new position 2 months aage. I don't want to hold things which are nearer to expiry because then again it's that gamma factor, right? I don't really want that gamma factor as a somebody who's just beginning to uh, trade thinking about volatility. You want to try to isolate volatility as much as possible. And as you get closer to expiry, your second month has now become front month. Now all of a sudden your um, gamma starts playing a bigger role and your vega starts playing a lower role. So we don't want to do that. Hope that makes sense. ठीक है. Alrighty. Also, can we also trade calendars so we will be better understand? Yeah, let's look for opportunities. I haven't looked for any calendar opportunities, but let's look for some opportunities. Um, Remind me, guys, if there's an event sometime. That's when calendars become a little fun to trade. But it's not really like the core trade is the VRP trade. Let's try to master this first. Okay, na? Like, and this is the first time we put this trade on. There's going to be other like I just keep the VRP trade going all the time, because I assume that it's always there. So I just keep it all the time. I just rebalance, move it up, rebalance, move it up. That's how I think about this particular trade. There are better ways to do it, of course. There are systematic ways to do it also. But for now, um, this is how I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it, and I'm doing it putting on the hat of a beginner retail trader or somebody who's just very new to volatility trading, right? यही चल रहा है, risk management ही चल रहा है हर्षद. That's what's happening, right? Put the trade on, manage deltas. Put the trade on, manage deltas. Array, market moved against us. Volatility is up. Okay, let's reload. Maybe put another trade on. Um, that's the
Raghav, I wanted to ask, जैसे मान लो, for example, if we wake up one day and the loss is 4% all of a sudden, so risk management goes out of the window ना at that time. तो उस टाइम को कैसे हैंडल करना है?
यार देखो, we are selling options. ठीक है, so if you're selling options, that means yes, the trade-off is there is a relatively high win percentage, but it's a negative skew strategy. ठीक है, so what does negative skew mean? It means के occasionally you'll see large losses. So VRP is a volatility risk premium. You're taking that risk. Nobody else wants to take that risk. ठीक है, that's why people love to buy options. So मतलब what I'm saying is कि 4% अगर तुम्हारा अकाउंट लेवल पे 4% का लॉस है, that means you probably like position sized either you मतलब you need to position size in a way. So मेरा ये 20 लाख का अकाउंट है and I'm only using 2.5 3.5 lakhs of margin for this particular trade, right? The rest is kind of sitting idle. Maybe like I think CJ's is running some algos on mine for 10 lakhs or with 10 lakhs of capital or something like that, right? But like I'm position sizing in a way where I'm very comfortable. If the market even opens up like 2% down, 3% down, I'm like, chal yaar, and I'm doing it further aage. So I'm very comfortable in my position sizing here.
But
Right.
position sizing alone cannot be risk management ना कि I'm not saying account level पे आ गया. Loss अगर मान लो loss is too much and then you see, क्योंकि size up तो करना ही है कभी ना कभी इस चीज को, if you are learning something to size up, और size up करने के बाद फिर मतलब रिस्क मैनेजमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से कोई मतलब कहीं कोई लॉस की कहीं वो नहीं चाहिए कि भाई इतना लॉस इज टॉलरेबल.
यार देखो, so when I put this position on, I think if we trace it through, at one point we were down what, like 9,000 rupees or something like that, right? Um, I mean, it can go a lot lower. The markets can be a lot crazier. Let's imagine, we put this position on and the COVID thing happened,
हम्म.
right? तो अब मेरा मैक्स लॉस कितना था इसमें जब मैंने पोजीशन डाली थी? मान के चलते हैं 1.5 लाख का मेरा मार्जिन था when we started, and I don't know, maybe like I get a big fat loss of like 60,000, 70,000, something like that, right? Like a large chunk of the margin that's required for this trade goes down the drain. Initially, it was a hedge trade. So let's start with that.
हम्म.
Now, um, if you remember that VRP chart that I showed you guys in the of historically for Nifty, and then I specifically zoomed in on the COVID period, where you did take a pretty large hit because realized volatility just straight up smacked you in the face, right? As soon as uh, like 10th March, 13th March, or whatever that crazy day was,
हम्म.
right? But what you wanted to like at that time, position sizing was important because you wanted to sell after that period. Like you wanted to be in a position to sell like uh, 5 days down the line, 6 days down the line when the IVs actually caught up to that move, right? So actually, let me see if I can find that chart again.
क्योंकि मैं जस्ट वांटेड टू टेल यू आई हैड कॉपीड योर ट्रेड. मैंने
हाँ हाँ,
फ्राइडे फ्राइडे को प्रॉफिट में क्लोज कर दी थी.
अच्छा नाइस.
नहीं,
हाँ यार,
नाइस नहीं.
फ्राइडे को 4,000 रुपए
नहीं
कुछ
है.
आ रहे थे ना
मैंने
उसमें.
मैंने विदाउट अ रीजन क्लोज करी थी. मैंने कहा यार मतलब
प्रॉफिट
मतलब
पैसे आ रहे हैं, निकालो.
नहीं. द रिस्क मतलब मेरे लिए मतलब द अमाउंट वाज इनसिग्निफिकेंट. तो मैंने कहा यार छोड़ यार. मतलब टिल द टाइम आई कैन नॉट साइज. तो मेरे को इनसिग्निफिकेंस की वजह से मैंने कहा यार हटा, मेरे को देखना नहीं है. मेरे को 75 बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आते. तो
How
मतलब
do we
दैट्स.
so let me just show you this. Let me show you this. And इसमें see, I don't know what your account size is. Mostly you're doing intraday, right?
या.
तो उसमें what you can also do is एक बार check out the positional backtester. We're actually adding like delta based conditions to the backtester very soon. So let me show you this. तो in this, right, यहाँ पे हमको पता है यार, यहाँ पे तो हमको मार पड़ी थी, ठीक है? बट यहाँ पे हमको मार पड़ी. वी वांट टू सर्वाइव दिस पीरियड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर ट्रेड, ठीक है? इन दिस लाइक वीआरपी ट्रेड वी वांट टू सर्वाइव दिस पीरियड so that we can sell during this period. So that's where position sizing comes in. And honestly, like when you're closing out this, so when there's a loss during this period, right? When you're so obviously you're going to close out this position because as it is, तुमको delta rebalance करना ही पड़ेगा. Your delta is going to be way out of whack, right? I mean, you can continue to not. It's a variance question there, but I would suggest that I would probably rebalance my delta. I'd be like, okay, let's get out. Something crazy has just happened. It has never happened before, right? And let's get the hell out of all our short positions right now. Take the loss. But again, the position sizing is such that I know that yaar, once maybe this period, once like wall starts coming down, like once realize wall starts coming down, that's when I'm like, chalo yaar. Or even once like after this initial spike of IV starts coming down a little bit, I'm like, you know what? Um, I want
नहीं
to at least start selling again, right?
ये.
And I'll make money here. Then यहाँ पे एक और spike आया, right? तो मतलब this is part of the game. You obviously, if you're talking about size, then that means that this particular trade, this sort of positional VRP trade, right, is going to form a small proportion of your entire book. If you have, let's say, so start with something like this. You have like I don't know, you have 50 lakhs of capital right now. So you say कि चल यार मेरा 50 लाख मेरा intraday में लगा हुआ है. Let me remove. Let me just add like a 10% allocation to this.
ओके.
ठीक है? And what you can do is you can so 45 lakhs is still in intraday, 5 lakhs is in this. You're like चलो यार, let me just put two, get it to a stage where I'm placing two strangles over here. I'll place the first one, and then अगर opportunity आती है in the next 1 month एक और strangle डाल लूंगा. Just thinking out loud. right?
Okay.
And then you sort of get the benefit of you get some benefit of correlation also, because of course, like during this COVID period, एक तो you're doing intraday, so you will get some positive मतलब negative correlation का benefit, क्योंकि
Okay.
जब कोविड में मार्केट फटी थी,
Hmm.
like directional systems did really well,
That
right?
time I was an
It
investor only. तब मैं
नहीं,
trader नहीं था.
चलो कोई नहीं, but I'll tell you what, right? Like during that time, and you can see the back test will show it. ठीक है ना?
Hmm.
And these back tests are not inaccurate because the market just went in one direction. ठीक है? Vol was really high and the market just went in one direction. So the directional, so if you're doing intraday in the 920 framework, you have probably a mix of some directional, some non-directional strategies, right? So
जी.
the directional would have like printed money during that time. ठीक है?
हम्म.
And इसमें you would have lost money, but directional would have printed money. And in this scenario, uh,
मैं
so whatever loss.
इंट्राडे भी आई एम आल्सो नॉन डायरेक्शनल.
हाँ, so मतलब then you probably need to add some directional to your
डायरेक्शनल डायरेक्शनल बाइस कहाँ से लाऊं? उसके लिए टेक्निकल्स है, एंड यू से यू डोंट फॉलो टेक्निकल्स.
I don't follow technicals, but maybe you should join Chintan's community. He's
मैं
he's got like a mix of directional, non-directional, and buying. मतलब he does all sorts of stuff. He's the master of 920.
मैं
I defer to him when it comes to 920.
मैं सैटरडे
Um,
को आई वेंट टू दैट ट्रेडर्स मीटअप था, जो आपका आपका नहीं, मतलब जो ट्रेडर्स मीटअप एंड ऑल दैट था. वहां पे मुझे मतलब आई मेट अ गाय, माय वेरी ओल्ड क्लासमेट. तो वो
yeah.
कहता है कि इफ यू आर डूइंग पोजिशनल ब्रो, कल को मोदी जी मर जाते हैं तब तेरा क्या होगा? कल को अंबानी मर जाता है. मैंने कहा यार ऐसी मनहूस बातें सोची भी नहीं थी.
तो देखो, हाँ ठीक बात है, dude. Like see, here's the thing, right? Um, I think um, position sizing actually plays a pretty big factor when you're doing this positional game. Number one, and number two, because of people like him who are
हम्म.
saying कि यार अगर ऐसा होएगा तो तेरा क्या होएगा? That's why
हम्म.
the risk premium actually exists,
या.
right? मतलब again, like थोड़ा मेटा हो रहा हूँ मैं, but
हम्म.
there's a reason like this trade also works in the US markets. The
हम्म.
volatility risk premium, you can like Google it, you'll find shit ton of academic papers on this also. This
सॉ
effect
इट.
exists.
सॉ इट. रेड
है ना?
इट.
So this effect exists, and um, the reason this effect exists is because it spooks out other people. Okay,
मी
I can't handle that risk.
मी इंक्लूडेड.
So
वही तो. दैट्स व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू गेट टू ना, कि हाउ टू गेट द करेज टू डू इट, बिकॉज आई एम इंक्लूडेड इन दैट. कोई सेट
चलो,
ऑफ
if you
रूल, कुछ मतलब टू समथिंग.
यार
देयर
तू
इज.
एक लॉट से तो शुरू कर सकता है, मतलब मैं क्या ही बोलूं, मैं बोलूंगा
मैंने
स्टार्ट विद वन लॉट
मैंने
मैन.
मैंने एक एक लॉट की डाली थी राखा. वो एक एक लॉट की मतलब द थिंग इज, वो एक एक लॉट देख के मतलब, डोंट वांट टू साउंड लाइक दैट, बट एक लॉट देख के मुझे लगता है क्या है, क्या हो जाएगा, और तो मुझे लगता है फिर मैं छोड़ छाड़ के लॉस ही करवा लूंगा, क्योंकि मैं देखूंगा ही नहीं उसको. मेरे.
Well, I think you need a psychologist now, not somebody who's helping you to trade. मतलब I can just expose the trade. ठीक
हाँ.
है ना? I can expose the effect. I can show you
अच्छा.
how I'm doing it. अब
एक
इसके
एक चीज
beyond.
एक चीज बता सकते हो कि टारगेट कहां तक करना है? मतलब यू सेड कि जितना वेगा दिख रहा है उतना टारगेट करके क्लोज अप द ट्रेड एंड मूव इट टू द नेक्स्ट मंथ. ऐसी सी.
Yeah, that's a fair way to look at it. Absolutely fair way to look at it.
बस मतलब इतना ही देखो कि दिस इज द अमाउंट ऑफ वेगा, एंड इतना वेगा लो, एंड चलो. कोई परसेंटेज में
हाँ,
ना देखो, किसी में ना देखो.
1 to 2 points of Vega देख लो, मतलब 1 to 2 points of wall देख लो. If that's the average, and that is kind of the average sort of sweet spot, right? If you look at historical data, just be like, ठीक है यार, 2 points is good enough. I got it. Now let's get out. That's absolutely fair.
मैंने
And
टॉकिंग टू
and
इन द मिडल ऑफ योर क्लास, मैंने आज ही फिर अप्रैल की डाल दी एक एक लॉट से, कि भाई
हाँ ठीक है.
हिम्मत करो, देखो. बट
हाँ, that's how you learn.
चलो, आई ट्राई दिस एंड अगेन आस्क यू.
Yeah, dude, like see, it's gonna take time. If it's a mindset change, it's gonna take time, but it's an effect that exists in the market. Whether you want to take that risk or not is up to you, right? But all I'm saying is there's a compensation that comes with this risk.
हाँ,
That's what I'm saying.
आई गॉट दैट
हाँ.
कॉम्पनसेशन. मुझे दो लॉट से बहुत अच्छा फायदा हो, क्योंकि जैसे फर्स्ट लॉट आपकी फर्स्ट ट्रेड थी, सेकंड लॉट लास्ट टाइम जो आपने एडजस्टमेंट करी थी, मैंने भी सेम कर दी थी, मुझे जरूरत नहीं थी. मैंने कहा चल करके देख लेते हैं, उंगली तो करनी है दो लॉट से. टू लॉट से आई गॉट 10,000 रुपीज.
Yeah.
मैं कहा यार अगर मैं पोजीशन साइज से करता तो बहुत अच्छे होते. बट वो ठीक है, साइकोलॉजिस्ट पे जाऊंगा कि डर के आगे कैसे जीतना है. I'll have some
I'll just
Mountain
look at
Dew.
yeah, I'll just look at some I'll just look at some other questions. How have you allocated your margin overall briefly? Like how much intra? Yeah, this is actually my test account. The other account, it's kind of been on autopilot. So sizing up and sizing down kind of happens on its own according to volatility targeting. And I'm going to touch on volatility targeting on the like it's a not very clean concept. Like it's so we're gonna touch on it in the mutual fund product that we are building. It's easier to understand that way. So you'll get that. This is Akshansh's question. I think it's like, um, so Sridhar is saying, I think it's like insurance business. One day you have to give loss, but we are paid for taking overnight. And that's right. That's exactly right, man. Like you're getting paid to take this risk. If you can handle this risk, you'll get paid. If you can't, if you can handle it, you can accept it, you can manage it, you should expect to get paid. But there's going to be times when 9/11 happens, and if 9/11 happens, then a lot of these insurance companies had to give a lot of money away, right? But right after that, insurance became really expensive. So Warren Buffett, funny story, right? Warren Buffett actually ended up insuring all of America's buildings against a terrorist attack right after 9/11. Like Empire State Building, vagera, vagera. His insurance company insured all those buildings because the price of insurance just went up, and like he was like, I'll take that risk. SK, if you can just okay, guys, this is it's great. Let's keep this conversation going. Keep it going in Discord. Okay, chalo. I'm gonna hop off, guys. Bye. So SK, just post on the Discord channel. This is, I think, um, yeah, it's a good post. Just post in the Discord channel. Okay. All right. See you guys. Bye.